How can I exploit a weak h3 square? Have you ever found yourself wondering how to take advantage of weak squares in chess? One square that often gets overlooked is the h3 square. Understanding how to exploit this weak square can give you a significant edge in your games. Let's break it down step by step. First, let's clarify what a weak square is. A weak square is one that cannot be defended by a pawn. This makes it vulnerable to your opponent's pieces. The h3 square is particularly interesting because it is located on the king side. If there are no pawns on g2 or h2, or if those pawns have moved, the h3 square becomes a prime target. To exploit the h3 square effectively, you need to place one of your pieces there. Knights are excellent for this purpose because they can jump over other pieces. When a knight occupies the h3 square, it can control surrounding squares like g5 and f4. This can put pressure on your opponent's position and create opportunities for further attacks. Before you move a piece to h3, make sure your overall position is solid. This means controlling key files with your rooks and ensuring your pieces are well supported. You might need to adjust your pawn structure to create space for your pieces to maneuver toward the h3 square. Sometimes, creating weaknesses in your opponent's position may require sacrificing material. For example, you could sacrifice a pawn to open lines for your pieces. This can lead to a stronger attack on the h3 square and surrounding areas. Opening up lines is another effective strategy. If you can create a weakness on the h-file by moving the h-pawn, you can then use your rook to attack along this file. This could potentially target pieces on h3, making it even more vulnerable. Managing your pawn structure is also essential. If you have pawns on g2 and h2, consider moving them to create pathways for your pieces. This can help you gain access to the h3 square more easily. In the endgame, weak squares like h3 can be especially important. A knight placed on h3 can be very powerful, particularly if it supports a passed pawn or threatens your opponent's king. By applying these strategies, you can effectively exploit the weak h3 square and gain a strategic advantage in your chess games. Remember, the key is to identify the weak square, place your pieces strategically, and create opportunities for attack. Happy playing!